I've gone to so many chiropractors, I've gone to so many like practitioners for this. I have this shoulder, mid-back, shoulder blade pain that I've had for like 11 or 12 years now. And I think just the fact the more holistic approach was what hooked me. I found out about Barefoot, I think Barefoot started following me on Instagram, and then I started following them back because I've always loved like the human body, and I've always been an athlete, so I was very interested in that. I just resonated with everything Barefoot like was posting, was saying, and I was just like, this is awesome. Even if it had nothing to do with like the body. I remember someone posted something about like lighting a candle, like when you're meditating, and like if you feel alone, like looking at the candle, and I was like, I like that. Like it just, everything resonated. So I was like, I feel like my people are here. I feel like something's bigger than here, bigger than me, or bigger than the problem is here. And I knew I was going to find something. I've gone to so many chiropractors. I've gone to so many like practitioners for this. I have this shoulder, mid-back, shoulder blade pain that I've had for like 11 or 12 years now. And I think just the fact the more holistic approach was what hooked me. No other chiropractor or doctor has ever done that. It's either been a cortisone injection, it's been, let me just crack your back. And I used to get like temporary relief from it, but I've never had like, total relief from it. And I think just the holistic approach and the emotional piece for me was like huge, because I have suffered from depression and all that kind of stuff. And I know there is a big link there. And I don't know, I just felt very called to reach out. The pain, it's like the mid-back area. It's specifically called the death nugget. It's right under my shoulder blade on the right side. And it was going up into my neck. It bothered me when I was breathing. It bothered me all the time. But specifically that like right under the shoulder blade, that was where the pain was.
So Kate first came to the office a couple of months ago, and she was complaining of mid-back pain, and with her athletic background being a rower and loving to be outdoors rock climbing, it was really important for her to figure out what is actually going on with her.
I used to be a rower. I rowed in college. And my freshman year, I don't know what happened, but it just came on. I guess just a lot of repetitive movement. I was on this side, so like rowing with the one oar. And yeah, I never really got it looked at, and then I just kept rowing on top of it, and then it's just been there ever since.
During our examination, we actually diagnosed two big problems. One is that she has a lower cervical disc degeneration, which is referring into that in between the shoulder blade and spine area, but also that she strained one of her mid-back muscles.
I had to stop. I stopped rowing, and that was hard. And then I did, after I graduated, I got into like CrossFit and stuff like that, weightlifting. It never really prevented me from doing it, but it was always a thing, and it always caused other injuries too, because I was always training on top of it. And it was always there, like going overhead, that was always painful. Squatting was always painful, and then it started creeping into my neck. I started getting pain like up into here, and I had to stop doing a lot of the things that I enjoyed doing. I also like to draw. I'm an artist, so like being hunched over like that for long periods of time, like that was always bothering it, so I kind of couldn't do it as long as I wanted to. I've never had relief from it. It's been an 11, 12-year injury, and I've never had actual relief from it.
And so what treatment looked like for her was, one, to take the pressure or load off of her neck, the disc that was degenerating a little bit, but also to manage how often she's rock climbing and rowing, so that in a couple months from now, she would be able to do these activities pain-free.
Dr. Joe's the best. Dr. Joe and Lauren are just the best. Every time I came in, like Lauren was always like, "Hi, beautiful," and like that was just like such like a nice greeting. Yeah, working with Dr. Joe, he just always listened. If I was ever like emotional or ever had any kind of like thing going on, both of them would always just stop and listen to me talk, even if it had nothing to do with my shoulder. And I thought that was something I've never found with any other practitioner. The best days, which this whole week has been really, really great, like 95 to 100%. Like there have been days I've had no pain, which is insane. And then on like my worst days, like 85 to 90, which is still like, what? Like, so I'm extremely happy.
So fast forward a few months and Kate is doing amazing. She feels that she was finally heard and that she had a better understanding of what was actually going on within her body, so that now moving forward she can make smart choices to set herself up long term to be able to continue to do the things that she loves.
I mean, night and day. I feel like I'm just a totally different person. I feel like I've really, like, coming here has, and I don't know what it is, but like I've like really recommitted to myself and like recommitted to my growth, which I think is something I was like ignoring before. Not ignoring, but like not giving myself the love that like I deserve. And I just think it's, everyone here is so, what's the word, like, they facilitate like self-love. They want you to grow, they want you to get better. And I think like being surrounded by people like that like has really helped me realize that for myself. And like I've had some really dark days and like I know I'm like past them, and like I'm just like so happy. Like I don't know, I just feel like a totally different person. I feel like my life is just like I've done a 180 and I can't wait to like see like where I'm going. Anyone who's ready to heal. I loved that question. I remember Richie asked me that, like, are you ready? Like, or like, have you suffered enough? Or like, have you gotten out of, like, are you ready to heal? I think that's a huge part of it. But I think people who are like, have kind of like given up hope. Like, I feel like I gave up hope on this, and like I wasn't getting it treated. I wasn't doing anything for it. And I was just gonna live the rest of my life like this. And I'm 31. Like I shouldn't have to live in chronic pain. So I think anyone who's kind of at that point where they're like, can I curse? Like, fuck it, like, nothing's gonna help, like, give this a shot. Like, the people here are just so caring and they want you to get better, and they don't want to treat you forever, and I think that's really important. I didn't want my I know, like, the idea of Barefoot is, like, treat you and, like, we don't want to see you again because, like, we want you to heal. Like, I didn't want my treatment to end because I loved it here so much, and, like, working here and being on the other side of it has been awesome. Different. But beautiful, because I get to be like, I get to help facilitate healing, which is something I feel really called to do. And it's just really nice to see people walk in and like when they are feeling relief to be like, that's awesome, like you're gonna get better. And like, I don't know, I just think it's a really beautiful, such a beautiful place to work. I'm just so happy to be here. I'm like so happy to like meet there's the people who work here and the patients who are coming in. I'm just like, it's such a certain kind of person that comes here, and everyone's just like so beautiful. Like, I don't know, it's just, I don't know. I feel like I'm a different person, and I'm like so grateful. I'm so grateful for Barefoot and like everyone here.